Night Attack is brought to you by all of our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/Night Attack. Subscribe today to get the pre-show and after-show early in your own RSS feed. Also, thank you to Doghouse Systems for powering this show. Get yourself a free SSD when you get a computer at Doghouse at doghousesystems.com/fee/rogue and use promo code ROGUE, that's ROGUE, at checkout. Here's what happened last time on Night Attack number 322. Thanks, our friend. I see you.
She's right, the Bonnie. She's right, the Bonnie. I like to get the answers on New 6 that's done by Bryson. I yes and all the questions. I'm getting them all right, yeah, and that's the way we do it.
You had to jerk off your phone, didn't you?
I get so sad.
Woo! Asshole!
Oh, goddamn! The clip definitely ended up with Katie Couric's calling. Oh, my God.
Hello, you beautiful bastards, you demon hordes of the internet. It's Tuesday night, and that means it is go time to set fire to this motherfucking internet. I'm Brian Brushwood, live in Austin, Texas, joined as always by my BFF and OAK. It's J.R.Y. Justin Romberg Young. How you doing, Justin? Oh, my God.
Brian, you like my new look?
Because it doesn't look like Katie Couric's asshole.
Some might say, is my new look. I call it Bob Vila deals weed now.
If I'm not mistaken, that is... Wait, is that a new shirt, or is that the one that was bought
No, this is from our VR shoot.
Yeah, this is. I did recognize it because I have one myself. Because I think you went home with one, and I think we finished up. And we had a bunch of, because they bought 2 of everything in wardrobe. Although, weirdly, somebody stole half of it the first day. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
On the first shoot in Austin, they went out and bought all the stuff, an intern, and I saw a fucking shit ton of, a mountain of clothes. And then suddenly, most of it was gone. Maybe lost. Maybe there was a bunch of low-paid interns working on the shoot who just grabbed.
Now we're like, well, these boys don't need all these threads.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I definitely, I dig that shirt, man.
No, it's a good shirt, and this is a good night, Brian. It's Cinco de Mayo.
And Taco Tuesday. This is like the solar eclipse on a Monday, the Monday the 13th. Take that, Garfield.
Is this among... Like, this was the year that it was all set up for, right? You had 420 on April 20. Like, you had
420 is always on April 20, I believe.
Yeah, but of 2020.
Of 2020.
420 on 420.
Fucking smart ass piece
You know,
of
I'm
shit.
still celebrating. 3 weeks later, I'm still celebrating.
Look at you, Bryce. Rush on in there. Only fools rush in. How do you feel now, you fuckwit?
Oh, man. But,
oh, my God. No. Bryce, can I go? Should I go now? Am I all right to go?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so thankful we have the Opal now. That we can have those kind of interactions without saying, wait, what?
So, yeah. And now you have a Cinco de Mayo on a Taco Tuesday. This whole fucking year, I swear to God. What a cock tease this year.
You know what's funny is this very morning, Josie was coming in, trying in some of that material where it's like, they said 2020 was going to be like a movie. They didn't say a disaster movie. I mean, we got the COVID and we got the something else bad happened. The movie's canceled and whatever, I forget.
Yeah.
But like truthfully, I was like, man, I will remember 2020 as the single year before Penny went to college that I spent the most time with my entire family. Like, full stop. Because nobody's going to school, and I've got more time. You know, I wake up, I spend 3 hours tussling with the little ragamuffins, and then I'm like, y'all, it's getting annoying. I'm out of here. and then I come over to the other property. Man.
You know what we're going to call that, Brian? The exception. We're going to go ahead and file you under the 1% of people for whom are enjoying the apocalypse.
I'm far from enjoying it, although I did go get Pluckers.
You literally just described how you were enjoying it. You said you will forever remember it. It's a treasured year, and for good reason. For good reason. This is an opportunity because Penny will she's very sooner than we're all going to realize, as we were just in the pre-show talking about stuff that feels like it was yesterday, but was definitely 8 years ago. Penny's going to be out of the house soon, so you are going to get to do it. You have the reason to say that it is enjoyable. You shouldn't run away from that.
Speaking of which, we were talking in the pre-show about how you went back and revisited Game On. I don't know if I ever shared this little tidbit with you. We always do the plug for Doghouse at the beginning of the episode. Number one, please, we haven't done an ad in a while. Please buy a Doghouse system. Please send me a picture of your system, and please use that code ROGUE. But the reason they supplied all the equipment and that they're a sponsor now is because people are still using the promo code from Game On. It's been like literally, I asked how we were doing on Modern Rogue, and he was like, you sold, 3. And one of those used promo code Game On. So when you buy a computer, please buy it from Doghouse Systems and use promo code ROGUE.
It powers both of our studios. We have a Doghouse system. Brian runs on Doghouse there in Austin. It is indeed Diamond Club approved. But yeah, man, people still love that shit. And it had been a minute since I went back and looked at it. But the reason why I looked at it is because we went on a deep dive on Tiki Bar TV. And let me just say this. If you ain't never fucked around and watched some Tiki Bar TV, I'm sure if you did not live through that era, then the nostalgia will not be there, and it will just look like some random web series in a pre-YouTube world. But damn, was Tiki Bar TV good. Well,
and so far ahead of its time. And as far as I know, they haven't done anything with that brand or name or show. Like that's the part that breaks this huckster's heart is like, damn, son, you built a brand. You got an RSS. Nowadays, people, before I've had people reach out to me saying, hey, I'm on a network and I'm putting it in my contract that I get the RSS feed if and when they fire me. Like that shit is real estate gold in the hearts and minds of so many people.
Yeah, dude, it was, and going back and looking at it, it's like that shit holds up now. If you're unaware, it was a series before YouTube. It was like video RSS, shout out of Canada, 3-person crew, and ostensibly it was about how you make a tiki drink, but there were these great sketches that were just like I don't know. It was between like the chemistry of everybody and knowing how well it was shot relative to the era. I'm like, man, I don't know why, that ever went away or there's not still like once a year at Christmas special, a very tiki Christmas special.
Can I hazard a guess? I think it has to do with the fact that you mentioned there were 3 primary hosts. 3 can keep a podcast if one of them is dead. like that's how it pulls down.
No, I mean, I think you're fucking totally dead on, and I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what. Do we want to go into behind the scenes Tiki Bar TV rumors?
Oh no! We
can.
I have no idea. And to be honest, that's the only reason I was comfortable making that joke is because I know that beautiful things that are crafted with loose understandings at the beginning, once they become valuable, tend to have interesting and rocky after stories. And there is a simplicity to everything we have done that I think speaks to the longevity of what we're doing. And it wouldn't surprise me, like, so many amazing bands or whatever, if there was a difference of opinion about, who was valuable to what part.
Yeah. And like, if we're going to use the band analogy, then this was definitely a Fleetwood Mac situation.
Oh dear. I didn't know anything about that. Yeah.
Yeah. If we're doing band comparison.
God, I can't believe that maybe it was just those early days where nobody recognized right now, whenever a podcast ends, everybody knows they have something valuable or a YouTube channel. Like there was was it Indie Mogul that I saw had like gone dormant, I think 4 years ago or something, and then
holy shit,
all of a
real?
sudden exploded with like Indie Mogul's back, and I went and started looking at the Social Blade stats on it, and that thing was fully dormant, and I don't know anything about it. If I were to guess, I would guess that behind the scenes somebody said, "Hey, could we come to an agreement and all them sweet 1 million+ subscribers that you have, could I have access to?" And they're just it's the weirdest thing. It was like they were frozen in carbonite because I think it was all largely one person who was not interested in doing it, and then suddenly it just started up again. So I don't know, real estate. I look at all of that as real estate now, and just because something goes dead doesn't mean it has to stay dead. Cracked just came back. Writer for the Mono Rogue, Jordan Breeding. It was fun because he put together a pitch for the video. I don't want to talk out of school. Cracked is back. Jordan Breeding is hosting it. Some of the comments people wrote include somebody saying it's as though a fan said Cracked shouldn't be dead and just started making Crack episodes. End of sentence.
So they just started making episodes and then they got the RSS feed or bought the RSS feed, or
I don't know any of the details of the agreement, but he made episodes and said, "Do you want me to put these on the channel?" And they said, "Here, let's come to an agreement." And then this dormant, frozen in carbonite, theoretically dead channel, everyone called it dead, suddenly just showed up, and then right out of the gate they're doing high 5 digits into the 6. I'm sure it'll drift into the 6 digits on this new content. So Tiki Bar TV, to me, I'm just like, man, like they could have done that second act thing, whatever that looked like. But my guess is whatever, but they didn't, and that always surprised me.
it's insane because I feel like that's a situation now where if you said, all right, Tiki Bar's back and we're going to shoot 8 episodes and it's literally a like $5,000 and up to be one of the 20 people that can be around while we shoot these episodes, and everyone's going to be pouring drinks and it's going to be a fun time. I feel like you would sell out of that immediately because like all the people that love Tiki Bar, guess what? They were broke in the aughts. And now like anybody who was like, hooray, a video show for my iPod are all making money. Like there's like a direct correlation to the phrase, hooray, I can put video on my iPod now and not just watch it on my laptop. And now you're making 6 figures. Like it is 100% of that demo.
Yeah, dude, if you were under 30 and spent money on a video iPod, considering how bleeding edge it was, and you were savvy enough to download, because I remember thinking like, oh my God, all that wasted bandwidth of everybody sitting in a subway train or whatever, if they could watch TV during that time, are you kidding me? That's part of the reason that I stopped chasing TV and started pitching Scam School. I bought specifically so I could make 320 by 240 episodes of Brian Brushwood on the Road on a video iPod and test them on a video iPod.
Yeah. No, I remember when Tiki Bar TV, they were in the little announcement of the first video iPod, the Steve Jobs announcement, when they were like showing all the content you can get, not only Lost and some other movie, but also you can get all the amazing content on the iTunes podcast store. And it was like Tiki Bar. And I remember being like, good for them.
I remember I remember when I found out that I think ABC Morning News or Good Morning America or something had a video podcast version of it. I was like, fuck, that's real TV. This is real TV, just in a very time delayed format. But then again, I was already in love with my TiVo, which was introducing the novelty of time delayed television.
I've just now realized that the aughts are my 80s. I always used to look back at like people like, oh, the 80s, wow, in the 80s. And now I'm like, fucking like, give me all of it. Every little bit of aughts, like, oh shit, Little John and the East Side Boys. Fucking Tiki Bar TV.
My 80s are the 80s.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, it's fucking.
What else do you remember
shit.
from the aughts? I had the idea. This is one of those grandpa moments where you're like, I invented the back window washer blade.
No, fuck it. No,
but then
right
I
guy in the
forgot about
chat.
it.
Right guy in the chat. Oh, the brown zoom, it squirts. Or the brown zoom, it squirts. I want all of it. I want all of it. Ah, give me it all.
So I remember having the realization when I got my TiVo that I no longer was watching live TV live at all. And even if it was live, I would wait 15 minutes or so I could skip the commercials or whatever. And then I had that thought, and because I was not in the tech industry or didn't, know how to capitalize on it, I did nothing with it. I had the idea that it's like, oh my God, 2 a.m. is valueless territory. It's so valueless that people sell that for infomercials. Like, you could launch a show, and if it was good and you only cared about reaching out to TiVo people, I think what happened is I was trying to figure out how, over a dial-up connection, TiVo was able to deliver a half-hour-long digest in standard definition. And I realized, oh, no, wait, what they do is they buy an infomercial slot, and they tell your TiVo to record it so that now you have it. And I realized anyone could do that. And now I realize that I was just describing RSS feeds before they were a thing.
Yeah. There it is.
Hey, man, if you have a brilliant idea that can be capitalized and make billions of dollars but don't feel like doing it, why don't you instead take $1 and give it to us over at patreon.com/nightattack.
Look, guys, I just want to let you know we're in a gang now. And the way that you get access to the gang is by giving us money. Now, I know that
Some
a lot
might
of
call
you,
that a club, but that's fine.
a lot of you guys aren't from the streets, so you don't really know how this goes. But the way that we who were raised on the streets know is that you go to patreon.com/nightattack and you give us money. And what you get in return is loyalty and respect and people that have your back forever, and an RSS feed that you can enter into the podcatcher of your choice and get early access to our pre-show and post-show. Folks, keep this show on the air, gang style.
Yeah, man, but most importantly, if you're a new pledger or if you up your pledge, then you have a chance to randomly be shouted out in a little thing we like to call...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Night Attack new Patreon name chant corner hour. It's an hour of...
Man, I don't know whether or not to reward this behavior anymore. I talked before about how some people try to be sneaky. They're always raising their pledges all over the place.
You're alone.
I mean,
you're alone, friend. The fact that you've even asked for this kind of tomfoolery is insane, and yet I'm still gobsmacked by all the hollywoggers that want to take you up on your crazy offer.
Well, I'll tell you what. The craziest one was somebody who upped their pledge 5 times this morning in the hours from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So I just want to shout out Da Bursk.
Da Bursk.
Bursk. Da Bursk. Da Bursk. Swag.
Da Bursk.
Also, thank you, Neil Fleisch. I see you in there too.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Neil? What's up? Hey, but also we do this thing live, Brian. We do it live here on twitch.tv/nightattack. And normally what happens is one of us tells an unbroken story that is totally true and certainly isn't weaving in names of people that are donating and subscribing live on our channel. So, Brian, why don't you go ahead and tell that story?
Sure. Well, you were there, Justin, and I'm sure, normally this is all my story, but remember we were there when to see B. Joey when suddenly out of nowhere, Renee, what happened?
Well, fucking Renegade shows up, and this guy's got a golf cart, and we're like, what are you doing with a golf cart?
And he said, I'm eating spiders. And he had this giant fistful. He goes, spider bite 0.
Yeah, and we're like, what the fuck is that? So Meryl Barr shows up, and he says, I'm covering the entertainment industry. And we say, we know, Meryl, we know.
And before you could say, Queeby, a rock and roll Martian landed on his head. And he said, get out of here, you.
Yeah, but he didn't. The rock and roll Martian stayed there, and he started making a house in Meryl's head. And he said, I'm going to have a Bab cat now, when it was really just the bob of Meryl's hair.
Thank you, Hayden Warwick. What was the name that one week meant a big pile of shit, and then he thanked us the next week for not making that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's so good. Meryl Barr's catchphrase is Queeby.
It's me, Meryl Barr. I cover the entertainment industry on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's a good catchphrase.
Hey, Bryce, you got a game for us?
Meryl Barr is our new Kramer. He just slides into the room. Hey, I cover the entertainment industry.
Also, shout out to Rock and Roll Martian for, I believe, 3,000 bits.
Oh my God!
So far,
congratulations! You should be spending it on the new house that you
3K,
built on
3K,
Meryl Barr's head.
We do have a game. So someone sent in another game, which is always appreciated, to mail@nightattack.tv. This was from Joe. Joe says, hey, Bryce, this has been my life for 2 weeks working with the Kentucky healthcare agencies. I needed to lighten things up. I hope this format will be good for you. This is a little quiz that I'm calling Knowrona Yourona Corona. Do I have news music?
Wait,
so-
that's the news that's 6.
Yeah, wait. I thought we already sixed the news last week.
No, that's Jeopardy.
Come on, just play the Mexican hat dance. Corona.
Corona Convoy. So this is a little trivia game that who did this again? Joe put together. So thank you, Joe. I will definitely remember your name next time. So a little game called Know Your Corona.
All right.
Ready to play?
Yep.
Before we get into the question, what do you guys know about eclipses?
I know I went and saw one, and it was amazing. And I know that it's a foundational belief that I hope it's not cloudy on April 8th, 2014.
Oh, right, when the next Austin eclipse. What about you, Justin? You ever have
2014?
2024?
Sorry, 2024.
2024.
I hope it wasn't cloudy on 2014
Yeah,
either.
I mean, because we can look that up. Spoiler alert,
Justin, have you ever go see an eclipse?
No, Bryce, I didn't, because I was infirmed at the time, and I was medically barred from flying.
Well, hopefully, maybe you'll get a little bit of I don't know, auxiliary experience with this question.
Oh my God, auxiliary Corona is the best.
So these
the
are
Ox Corona. Da 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 da. Ox Corona.
Corona.
So we got a question here. The sun's Corona.
Yeah, I want to
was it
plug
the
you in.
Umbra?
I want to plug you in.
I want to plug you in. Ox Corona.
Taking up a beer, plug it in to my stereo. I can hear the bubbles bubble up.
Ox
bubble
Corona.
up now.
Oh, sorry.
Ox. Woo!
All right, we've got a question here. The sun's corona extends millions of kilometers.
It's tricky to rock a rhyme. That's right on time. Oh, I'm sorry. The same
Didn't even
song.
put corona into it.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. The sun's corona extends millions of kilometers into outer space and is most easily visible during a total solar eclipse. Approximately how hot is that corona? Our sun's corona. We will take the answer in Fahrenheit, and closest without going over. We'll get a point. Brian, we'll start with you.
I'll go 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, Juice?
I will say
the sun's corona.
that the sun's corona is. What did you say, Brian?
I said 3,500.
I'm gonna say 4,200.
Ooh.
Ah, okay. That day also took place on April 20th. Turns out. All right. Here we go. Spectroscopy measurements indicate strong ionization in the corona and a plasma temperature in excess of 1 million Kelvin. Doing great.
Yo, what's up? It's me, Kevin. You think I'm too much to handle? Get low to my 999,999 other friends.
And meanwhile, Catherine O'Hara wakes up. Kevin!
Holy shit. 1 million Kelvin. That's
much
like
hotter than the surface of the sun we were looking for. 1.799 million degrees Fahrenheit.
What,
That's
was I thinking of the surface of the sun? What's
You
the
were.
surface
This
of the
is
sun?
hot. Let's see. Surface of the sun temperature minus walking on 5,000 degrees Kelvin.
Oh, Kelvin. Wow, even then we were way too low. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a point for Justin. Congratulations, Justin.
Fuck yeah.
Are you feeling
Fuck
it?
yeah.
Are you feeling it?
Oh, dude, I'm loving it. I got the power of all Corona.
I got another Corona question here. The Corona convoy trucks on.
It's jazz, really. It's jazz. You don't know what's gonna get included in, and so you just gotta work it. Brian, can you feel the wind of the Corona convoy like whipping through your hair? I can. Oh. Now it's trucking themed.
No, it's trucking.
Woo, woo!
Well, that was
It's the Corona convoy, baby. This game was written in advance.
which is good because that's the locomotion woo woo.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Sorry, I wrote that joke on April 20th.
Got a question. We'll start with Justin here. Corona Extra is a pale lager produced by Cerveceria Modelo in Mexico for domestic distribution and export to all other countries besides the U.S. and Constellation Brands in Mexico for export to the U.S. In what year did Corona become the top-selling imported drink in the United States?
Not anymore, motherfuckers.
Not anymore.
What year did that happen?
This is closest, just closest we're looking for.
I'm going to say that Corona popped in 1989.
1989.
Damn. So here's my dual impulses. I remember when I was in sixth grade, that would have been 88, 87. Like there was nothing cooler than two things. The one you could wear at school, which was a Hard Rock Cafe T-shirt.
Yeah.
But even cooler.
What was your favorite location?
Houston, if you could find it. Yeah, because.
Oh, really?
I
would have went with Tel Aviv. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Look, I mean, but we were in Houston, so I don't think Tel Aviv would have been the coolest for anyone to wear.
Okay. You don't think so?
But
anti-Semites, huh?
The
A lot of them
only
in
thing
Houston.
cooler was the T-shirt you were not supposed to wear.
The Hard Cock Cafe.
That which was a Corona shirt. But
No, really, they wouldn't let you wear a shirt that said Corona on it.
That's
in junior high.
bullshit.
Yeah. Right, well,
They're like, you better put on a Hard Cock Cafe shirt, mister, or else I'm going to suspend you for 2 weeks.
Did you say Hard Cock Cafe?
Yes.
That was right.
But there were kids.
I like the Come Aviv location.
there were kids that showed up wearing Corona shirts, but went home wearing an athletic shirt.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing any ad spend on Corona until the late 90s or even the early 2000s. And so that suggests to me that the ad spend, if I were to guess, the cultural cachet measures less in sales than ad spend. So I'm going to say a higher number. I'll say 95.
Say 1995.
What would you think would be the previous, like, what did it dethrone? You think like Heineken, Beck's?
Number one import?
Amstel Light?
Number one import, Bryce?
Import.
Yeah, yes, best-selling import.
Guinness, maybe? Probably not Guinness.
Shit, what would have been?
Molson, maybe?
Foster's or
That's Australian for beer.
Yeah, which, by the way, made by Molson Breweries in Canada. Like, if you're drinking Foster,
Motherfuckers.
if you're drinking
What?
Son of a
if you're drinking
bitch.
Foster's in America,
That's not a knife.
It was made in Canada.
No, it's a Mountie.
Separate thing. When I in 2005, I did magic shows at military bases, and they have that PX. I think I've told this story before, but this is Germany, where they have actual Beck's beer, but because part of the purpose of the PX is to give a familiar American experience, the Beck's beer in the military bases in Germany, brewed by Molson in Canada.
Crazy. All right. There we go. All right, so we got our answers in 1989, says Justin. 1995 says Brian. The answer that we were looking for here on this game is... It's not. We're looking for 1998. That's the point for Brian.
Oh, ad spend. All right, right on.
Dun, 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 dun. There we go.
So I
Wow.
guess we're tied up because Justin was closer to 1 million Kevins with his guess of
4,000.
So it
4,000
was really
Kevins is closer to the population of Austin than 3,500.
So wait a minute. So it was really the Find Your Beach campaign? Like it was just like all the those 30-second ads that was just like a lady in a bikini that you never saw her face sitting down in a beach chair and opening a fucking Corona?
I think ads is the booze of sales. It only makes you more of what you already are. I think that it was already a hot brand, and as it was on the rise, they're like, well, now we got money to spend to tell everyone what a hot brand we are.
Juice it.
Like, yeah, you can't. Ads will never make something hot, but if it is hot, it'll crank up, pump up the volume. Which was
it
also
would have been
popular.
good for them in 1980 or 1998. It might not have made them the hottest thing then, but would have been better in the long run. It's just have an ad thing that was just flashing text. We're not a plague. We're not a plague. Just know that we're a beer and not a plague that'll kill your kiss your grandma. We're not the one that kills her.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Oh.
All right, here's another one.
I'm just saying it would have been forward.
Do you think there's a single fingernail to be found on the hands of anybody at Modelo Cerveceria right now?
No, they own Corona.
I know that's the joke I'm making is whether or not there's any fingernails left.
Because they were cheating. I thought you were expecting.
Find out.
No. I think that they saw this coming the entire time, and they're just like, you want to know what? We're going to flog this Corona horse until this fucker dies. And then guess whose turn it is? Modelo, baby.
That's
back.
right. That's right. Like burn this brand.
Yeah. And then then they're going to run attack ads against that shit is a plague. I'm drinking Modelo.
By the way,
It's not good that they've named their spin-off beer SARS Lager. Not a good one.
Sarsaparilla.
SARS-y for Party Rocket.
Did you ever see the documentary Beer Wars?
No.
It's great because the conceit of it is as you walk down the grocery aisle, it looks an awful lot like there's a lot of different beers that are available. Mm-hmm. And then they break down the fact that there were only 3 breweries, Coors, Miller, and Budweiser. And then Anheuser-Busch. Halfway through the movie, they're like, psych, there's now only 2. And all of these brands are owned by only these 2. So this was...
That's like the craft beer thing, the fake craft beer thing. There's not really craft beer. Most of it is all...
Well, no,
Actually,
that
now
was the
there
thing.
is. And this movie was part of that revolution because that was one of the investigations they did is they're like Old Country Road Brewery located on one Old Country Road. And then they went and found it. And it's definitely like a back easement that leads to the Anheuser-Busch parking lot in the middle of St. Louis. It's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that was the thing in the aughts and 90s when you had these blue moons and they were like those were actually regional beers and they're like, hey, it was like somebody trying to make a pop star in the 60s. It's like, you sound good, kid. Would you like to be on the radio? And it's like all of a sudden now it's like the one different thing that's on every tap in every random bar and in Publixes and shit like that.
And nowadays, there's a ton of cool, genuine craft breweries, and everybody's doing it. And we're seeing a similar revolution in distilled spirits, including our friends over at the Whiskey Tribe. But I remember in that documentary, I remember being told that Samuel Adams was cool, Yangling was cool, and or actually,
Wait, I don't think Yingling is.
I
cool
don't think they
anymore.
are cool anymore.
Oh.
But Dogfish Head Ale is cool. God, I think there was one other, and that was about it. And they were talking about just how nasty the ball.
I never
the big guys
realized.
played.
I never realized there was a Your Fave is Problematic blog for beers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Trust me. All right, what do you guys know about counties in California or cities in California?
Oh, man, I know a shit ton, baby. I'm fucking here for this one. Let's go.
You're in one, ostensibly.
I'm in a city in California. Fuck me. Shit, you're right.
Well,
You're like, I'm coming in a city in California right now. Let me say its name.
well, there's also.
I've always thought that's the funniest way to come is just like a rising yell. Like, just,
imagining an opera singer, but you're in the next room over.
Just like the way that you would, the way that your tone would go if you're doing very sloppy drunk karaoke for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, okay,
Like
so we don't need to really put me on
whatever
blast.
your part, if you were to isolate your vocals, yeah, that's the funniest way you could come.
And then you're like, dun, 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 dun.
Second wind.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you know what city could love a second wind is Corona, a city in Riverside County, California.
Oh shit.
Corona is located among the western edge of Southern California's Inland Empire region, which sounds like a fascist regime state than the geographical area, but what do I know? Corona experiences a warm Mediterranean climate and has mild to cool winters and hot summers. What is the hottest temperature on record for Corona? We're going highest closest without going over in Fahrenheit. Brian, we're going to start with you.
I just want to know, like, send in the hot weather from the Inland Empire.
Execute temperature 66.
Kelvin. Wait, no,
Celsius.
So that's very hot.
I don't know. Why do we keep using it? We need to move to metric, really.
Send in 66 Kevins.
Yes, we want all the Kevins. James.
Home Alone
Smith.
again.
Smith.
Garnett, KG. I love him. He was great. Did you see Uncut Gems?
I loved Uncut Gems.
Brian, we're starting with you. Closest without going over in Fahrenheit, please.
Hottest temperature on record, I assume they mean in Corona, not just just full stop.
It's once again 1,799,000
Kevins. Let's say if it's hot, I'm gonna say 114 Fahrenheit.
114 degrees Fahrenheit. Juice.
Ooh.
Now you have a bit of an advantage given that you live in the state of California.
Yeah, so if you
outta
screw
here
this
with
up,
that.
then-
Okay, yeah. Then
We have
you
to
fucking you give me all the fucking meteorological information about El Paso, you fucking piece of shit.
It's hot.
Yeah. It's hot too.
Mhm.
What'd you say, 114?
Yeah. I guess I gave you the over under, didn't I?
Yeah.
I gave you the line.
I'm gonna go 115.
115. You're gonna go over.
Yeah.
All right. We got an answer of 114, 115 here. The answer we're looking for is record high of 118. When you were saying 17, Brian, I thought, he's almost gonna get it. No, there you go.
Yeah, no, that is a bit spicier than I expected.
A little
It
caliente.
gets hot, man. Like anything that's not on the coast in California or in some sort of geographical, like protected region, like the Bay Area is, like it gets fucking super, super hot.
I mean,
really
hell,
fucking fast.
Death Valley's in California.
No shit.
And people die out
And
there.
people fucking die. God damn it, Bryce. I eat first on this podcast.
Hey, I'm sorry.
You gotta, when you see a joke, you gotta let me wet my beak. If you see me waddling on over to the puddle.
The points go up to Brian and Justin. All right. Here's a question about the Cold War. What do you guys know about the Cold War?
Oh, man.
Oh, I fucking love that shit.
The Corona program was a series of American strategic reconnaissance satellites produced and operated by the CIA Directorate of Science and Technology with substantial assistance from the U.S. Air Force. The Corona satellites were used for photographic surveillance. No, I'm good.
Photographic.
Photographic surveillance
Yeah.
of the Soviet Union, the USSR, and the People's Republic of China until what year? We're going to go closest without going over, starting with Justin. When were these satellites last used?
Oh, shit. My shoes. I would say it was probably used until 1991.
1991. Brian?
I'm taking the way over, possibly all the way to still active today. So I'll just say 1999.
1999. Did I say closest without going over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fired. Get out of here.
No, sorry. We're going to reject those answers. Go again. Justin. The lowest answer given so far was 1991 by you minutes ago.
1987.
1987. All right, Brian.
1969.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice one, bro. No. All right, the answer we were looking for is 1972. Brian gets the point on that one.
Shit.
Party people.
Man, that must have been a shitty ass satellite.
Yes, I believe that. Yes, I believe it.
All right.
That satellite must have sucked an ass.
I mean, it was 69.
Yeah, exactly.
If it were any good, we'd
Fucking-
still use it, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Instead, it's out there sucking an ass.
All right, let's keep trucking on this one. Our Corona
Oh
War.
shit.
Uh,
Brian, do you see all those road signs coming by with the Corona Caravan? You want to play I Spy now that we're on the Corona Caravan? And
I
totally
spy with my
pre-planned-
little eye a million infections of Kevin's.
Oh, Jesus. All right. We're starting double points round. We got a few more here. We're doing double points here. Corona is an Italian Eurodance band found commercial success with the worldwide hits The Rhythm of the Night in 1993 and Baby Baby in 1995. What was the highest ranking in the U.S. Billboard 100 for The Rhythm of the Night? The Rhythm of the Night. Brian, we're going to start with you. What is the highest Billboard 100 ranking for Rhythm of the Night? This is just closest, not closest without going over.
You remember that song, right, Brian?
That's not the Gloria Estefan
This
one.
is the rhythm of the
Oh,
night.
that one. Yeah, okay.
The night. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The rhythm of the night.
Yeah. 69.
All right. 69th commercial success at 69th place on the Billboard. Juice.
I mean, I think it would be higher, like, because that definitely got radio play. I'm gonna say that Rhythm of the Night, especially in the early '90s, that shit was hot. I'm gonna say, just to be conservative. Wait, because of your crazy ass rules, the
Oh, yeah,
the
just
top
close.
is number
Which-
one,
Just
right?
closest.
Oh, just closest.
Just closest
Okay.
on this one.
Without going over?
Just closest. Mr. 69th place.
Yeah, no, I will say 29. I say 29.
29th place. All right.
Yeah.
The Rhythm of the Night reached number 11.
Oh, wow.
11.
Yeah.
Point for Justin.
This is the rhythm of the night.
Oh, yeah.
We're not a play.
The rhythm of the night. Oh, right.
Wait, but they had a song called "Baby Baby" that wasn't it Amy Grant that
Yeah,
did the
it wasn't,
"Baby Baby"?
Yeah, Amy Grant trying to. That was her crossover from Christian rock to.
Oh man, church
Popular
folks
charts.
were pissed. Church folks were pissed. They're like, this fucking whore singing about not God. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm going to church right now.
Yeah, why is she singing about chaste love in the
Yeah, I know.
abstract?
I would have been really pumped if she just would have thrown a he in there. If she capitalized it.
I remember.
But fucking here she is not doing that. Whore.
Oh, maybe if it was about the baby Jesus as a Christmas ballad.
Baby Jesus? What if that was her original song and she's just like, fuck, man, I gotta clean this up for the radio.
Baby Jesus, I hope I get some presents on your birthday tomorrow.
Baby Jesus, nestled with the wise men, bringing you frankincense, incense, and myrrh. Now stop for a minute, realize you're the Son of God.
Do, 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 do. Ooh, stockings over the mantelpiece. Santa is a lie. Don't take Christ out of Christmas. I'm gonna suck this guy. Whoa, hard left turn.
You gotta clean that up, Amy. Amy, you gotta clean it up.
I tell you what, let's meet in the middle.
At this rate, we're just gonna go secular.
Casey Kasem will not allow this on his program.
I would love to believe that she's like, no, this is my hill to die on. And they're like, let's meet in the middle.
Fuck it. Yeah, well, here we go. Baby, baby. And it's just, you're in a carnival and it's a thing. You don't suck him off, though, Amy. I'm telling you right now. If you suck that guy off in the song, we're done.
I swear to God, if I hear one mention of the J-Dog, you're out of here.
All right. Hey, it's in Christmas. The convoy is going through now.
Man, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom at the next rest area here on the Corona convoy.
All right. The corona of glands penis or penis crown refers to the circumference of the base of the gland.
I'm the one who wears the penis crown. It's me, Amy Grant. And it's a crown of thorns. I swear I'm not giving this up.
That's what I call dicks. Thorns.
Oh, God damn.
Is the circumference of the base of the gland's penis in human males, which forms a rounded, projecting border. Roberto Esquivel Cabrera of Mexico is credited with the world's largest penis. What is the recorded circumference of his penis crown? We're going to start with Justin on this one. I believe you can give me the answer in inches.
God damn.
Inches.
In
And we have no idea what the average is, right?
I can Google something. Maybe, I don't know. Penis corona average.
Oh, whoa. You don't get an anchor.
Okay.
I don't?
Nah.
No.
Yeah. All right.
And I couldn't find it.
I mean, considering this is a classic scam school bit of circumference versus height, like,
Don't make me go. I'll measure my own dick on this fucking live stream.
As long as Amy Grant is not singing while you do it. Yeah, we're going to say closest without going over.
I will say 3 inches.
Say 3 inches, Brian.
See this soda can right here? Let me show you a little trick.
Yeah.
If I wrap my hand around it, I get almost the circumference. And I'm gonna say
How long are those?
6 inches. Double that.
6 inches, double that. All right. The answer we were looking for is 10 inches.
Holy fucking
God
shit!
damn.
That's a monster can.
It's pretty crazy.
That's a big dick.
The dick is gigantic.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
It's the 2 in Taco Tuesday stands for 2 Cinco de Mayos of girth around the crown of your dick.
God. That man's he's working with a fucking Louisville slugger.
Oh shit! All of a sudden, guess who's about to come in the door?
Oh my God!
Dun 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 dun. I'm doing the.
Y'all look at this
Jesus fucking
dog.
Christ.
It's past his fucking knee.
Oh my God!
And this is a sweatpants shot, y'all.
Yeah. Oh no! Like that dude. Like the earth tilts on that man's dong. Like that's a gravitational
That
problem.
He stole that from a horse. That ain't real. That shit. There's staples all around the base of that.
Staple.
I'm really glad that he has a belly. Because if I had a dick like that, I would too. I mean, I have a dick my size and I have a belly. So like, I'm just happy that's a sign of confidence.
I mean, you have a
look
dick
at his
that
smile.
big.
Can we go back and look at that man's smile?
He loves it.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I'll tell you what's interesting is when you don't see his dick, you notice his tits. But then the moment you see his dick, you don't see any tits. Jesus Christ.
No
God
tits.
damn it.
No, that's a smile that is tired of smiling. You smile too much.
No more smiling. We're done with smiling. All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's a big dick, man. Unless he's 3 feet tall, that's a big dick.
Nobody but me got that show. Nobody but me saw Bryce look down and away and accidentally hit the zoom in button and not realize that he just left it zoomed in on a giant dog until I chuffed, and then he looked up and was horrified. That was amazing.
You could have kept that going too. Thank you for being on my side. All right. Currently, the score is 4-4. We only have 2 more questions here. We're still in our double points round. We're going to start with Brian on this one.
Yep.
Corona is a song by American punk rock band Minutemen from the album Double Nickels on the Dime. Do you know the song?
Oh, yeah, no. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. The intro, you actually probably do know the song. The intro and the outro of the song was used as the theme song for the MTV stunt show Jackass and its movies.
Oh, yeah. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm Corona, and this is the global apocalypse. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just a bat phrased up the camera. Like, I'm a Chinese bat, and this is the pandemic.
Oh shit, he did it! Oh,
Where's the cocaine?
Dude, all those guys were high. You never think about that until more recently. All those guys were high.
Oh no, homie. I bought the Steve-O DVDs back in the fucking aughts, and there was no question because he put it on camera. The amount of drugs that he was doing.
He made a guessing game like to the camera. He'd be all like, "I want to hug anything that moves. Guess what I'm on?"
Yeah. Oh no, one of the stunts was like, "Hey, 10,000-foot snooter," and then just does a line of coke off a fucking airplane tray.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, so that song you might know from the Jackass series. The lyrics in the song state, "A bottle deposit is required to buy a beer in Mexico. How many cents is the deposit?" in the lyrics of this song. You can answer in cents, and closest without going over, we'll get the point. We get 2 points. Brian, I think we're starting with you.
I'll say dos centavos.
2 cents, Juice.
Oh, I'll go 3 cents.
Yeah,
3
cents.
pesos.
So just to be clear, Brian's ways to win include 0, 1, and 2. Justin's include up to all the Kevins.
From here to Kevin.
All right, well,
From your lips to Kevin's ears.
here we can hear a little bit of the song.
I can see it in her eyes. I only had a Corona. 5 cent deposit.
5 cent deposit.
Man, there's even nickels in the title of the album. Boy,
Oh.
that really sounds early 90s. When did that come out?
Let's see. I wonder if
Maybe late 80s.
maybe 85. Oh no, that's not quite right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Corona band.
We'll figure it out. Someone will throw
Yeah.
it in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Europe bound. I don't
Yep.
know. All right. That brings the current total right now, with Justin getting 2 points. Brian has 4. Justin has 1, 2, 4, 6 points. This is our final 10-point round. Ding, 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 ding.
Double nickels on the dime.
That's right.
Yeah.
84. Look at that.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right, our last question here. If you are at a higher risk for serious illness from COVID-19 because of your age or because you have serious long-term health problems, it is extra important to take actions to reduce your risk of getting sick with the disease. How many seconds at least should you wash your hands to help prevent the spreading of COVID-19? We're going to look for the exact answer here. You guys are going to go guess back and forth, starting with Brian. We're hoping to get the correct answer here.
20.
God damn it.
You know what's funny is you guys couldn't see because my hands aren't visible. But while he was asking the question, I went. Happy birthday to you.
I fucking did
Happy
the same
birthday
thing.
to you.
I literally
Happy
did the
birthday,
same
dear
thing.
Brian. Happy birthday to you. Times
And it was
2.
20. Yeah. No, because that was all that's all I'd fucking heard. God damn it.
That's amazing.
All right, with a score of 14 points, our winner is Brian.
Man, great game. That was a really good one.
That was a lot of fun. Shout outs.
I'm really glad that we stuck with the caravan theme. Like that trucking theme was something that I thought was, yeah, it was put together really well.
It was certainly
That
not
was a-
something I had on my phone for another different
World building. That's what I like about this show. We build a sonic playground for the listeners. I fucking hate you.
I forgot how long yell is, but okay.
It's so fucking long.
Thank you to Joe who sent this in. If you have a game that you would like to send in or an idea, send it into mail, M-A-I-L, at nightattack.tv, and we might play it in the middle of the show, which is what this was like.
Hey, man, you want to do a little bit of diamond time?
Hell yeah, Bri. You can.
Diamond time is a
Diamond
portion of the
Time.
show. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Diamond Time's a thing, right? So
Yeah.
you go to reddit.com/r/Diamond Club. You have a sticky post right there at the top of the page, and you shout out your project. We read 3 of them each and every week. Ain't that right, Bri?
Goddamn right. As a matter of fact, if somebody hustles up real quick, they can grab that third slot because the first one is taken up by Spiderbite, who has a suggestion of music to play as I read the following. Hey, guys, I started a Teespring listing to sell Diamond Club-themed swag to raise money for charity. We got shirts, we got mugs, we got the die-cut stickers, and all the proceeds go directly to Feeding America, who you may have seen featured in the recent Parks and Recreation charity special episode, which is helping people who can't keep food on the table during this crisis, so you get to feed kids and get cool stuff while doing it. So buy one and give the kids a buck, bucko. Oh, the link
Nice.
is yellow420.com/Corona swag.
No hell below my dick.
It's the My Dick, but it's the My Dick.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And Rex Stardust writes, hey, Diamond Dogs. Remember those cool people, JF Dubois and Amy Frost from episode 307? Remember that they have a cool horror, fantasy, science fiction podcast called Ake Willow? Well, what you should remember is that there's a subreddit for the show, and I'd love it if fans from the show could get in there and generate some discussions. Head on over to r/AkeWillow and start talking about what you've heard and speculating on what's next. That is ACHEWILLOW, and support them with an iTunes review while you're at it.
And finally, Red Nagu writes in to say, wash your hands. He is unspecific as to for how long.
No one's quite
look,
sure.
Yeah, 20
You know what?
seconds.
I will take a moment to, if we have a third slot here,
Yeah.
give a shout out to the cross post. Let me see. I don't know who posted on there, but the second post on there, the one that says Alex Jones is secretly Bill Dotree. Did you see this, Justin?
No.
It should be the second third highest one on the current Diamond Club subreddit.
Do you want to describe this for the audio podcast?
Well, on the left you have Alex Jones, and on the right you have Bill Dauterive, and they look the same. Then on the left you have a shirtless Alex Jones, and on the right you have a shirtless Bill Dauterive, and they look the same. On the left you have a frogs are gay Alex Jones, and on the right you have a football Bill Dauterive. They are identical. On the left to right, identical. On the left to right, identical. On the left to right, identical.
Okay.
On the left to right, identical. On the left to right, identical, but with sunglasses.
Man. Why do you have to deplatform that guy? He was endless laughs.
You think we have to worry about him coming and trying to eat a guest here?
Eat your ass? Eat your ass? He said he's going to eat your ass. And you're first.
Do you think that was an
Before you have
intentional
to eat
phrasing on his
ass.
part? Like I know what'll get this passed around.
No, because we don't know. Well, I don't know.
He's
I
pretty
don't know.
savvy. Like he has to know
No, but
that he was
does he think
accidentally
that
saying,
that's gilding the lily on like, oh, I'm going to talk about how I'm considering cannibalism,
well,
but also I'm going to
it,
make a double entendre about.
I think
butt
he's
eating.
savvy enough that he knows that he's wandered into tweetable territory and recognizes, like you could say, like he says it twice or whatever, and then it's almost like an intentional third lap. Let me say, eat your ass, knowing that's a phrase that means something else.
Maybe. I mean, I will never, I will never say I think it's out of bounds for that dude, but I don't know. Because even if you think about it comedically, you're like, oh, like I'm talking about eating people and I'm freaking the fuck out about it. That's really fun. Is it winking too much to then be like, I'll lick their butts? I'm going to lick a butt. I'm going to do it.
No.
Like, I'm going to eat their ass, Brian. I'm going to lick their butt, right? I was looking at my neighbor and I was just thinking like, hey, I'm going to lick your butt. I mean, to eat you, because I'm going to kill you. I'm going to string you up. My kids ain't starving. I'm just telling you that right now. But I'm going to lick it before I kill you. I'm going to lick your butt. When you're alive and you can enjoy it, I'm gonna lick it.
Alex, no, I don't want to go into a scene, but no, I do believe that he could kayfabe his way, knowing that he's throwing raw meat to the wolves. He could say like, well, I don't know, or just not address it or whatever. Know that everyone will go crazy over it.
I mean, the problem is that like, how much crazy shit does he say now that nobody just even knows? Because like at this point, you have to have like the full-time Alex Jones reporter that even passes through the crazy shit.
Let me put it this way. What are the odds that clip goes viral without the I will eat your ass part? If he just says, I might eat somebody. I'm so hungry I could eat a person. I'm so very hungry I could eat a person. I might be a cannibal. Like nobody tweets that.
Oh, I know. That's why it got tweeted in all the stuff that I saw. Like most of it, like there was like the snide, like the same people, and I count myself among them, that like tweet back nice whenever 69 is mentioned. Like that's the crowd that was like, yo, tag a friend who eats ass. But most of it was just like Alex Jones is considering cannibalism.
Yeah, but is that the reason that, like, that's the headline, but is that the reason it got posted and shared?
I think the cannibalism, yeah. The cannibalism's still the headline.
I disagree. I think that minus the accidental or the quote unquote accidental saying "I will eat your ass," I don't see this getting the traction that it does, and I do think he's savvy enough to intentionally decide to throw that raw meat out there.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not arguing with you. Like, I think it is eminently possible, but the big thing that initially, my sense of the news value of it was that it was mostly because he wants to kill people and eat them.
Yeah. Hey man, do we got any mail in our bags?
We do. Let's open up the mail sack.
Join us for drinks in the Diamond Club.
The Diamond Club. That sounds grand.
Super grand. This is the part of the show we read your emails that you sent in to mail@nightattack.tv, mail@nightattack.tv, including this one from M. Riddick W, who writes, Hey gang, I think this is tying into some happy hour Night Attack happy hour stuff. So I'll kind of need to rely on you two to help me with this.
Sure.
With all the talk of wings lately, I wanted to briefly give a very specific defense for one particular aspect of the attacks against so-called boneless wings.
Okay, so to bring everyone up to speed, if you don't listen to the happy hour, we were talking about how boneless wings are bullshit. They're just chicken nuggets under a different name. They're long. Fucking why not make them? Never mind. I was gonna make.
Why not make the whole wing out of the black box?
Yes, exactly. Actually, I was trying to tie into that world's largest dick guy or whatever. Like, just have a fucking nug the size of a horse cock and call it the world's largest boneless wing or whatever. You should see the whole bird.
For the record, I don't have that big of a problem with boneless wings. I can fuck up a boneless wing. I think that it should have another name, but I don't have a problem.
I mean, here's my life philosophy. I will have plenty of time to eat all the boneless wings I want when my teeth have fallen out and I'm at risk of being killed by coronavirus.
Which is weird because I think of bone-in wings as softer, nicer quality chicken. Well, let's see what Emric says.
Yeah,
okay?
well, let me just say one last thing
Uh-oh.
about a boneless wing. Here's where I will 100% fuck up a boneless wing. At an airport at the Chili's. I'll get an order of boneless wings because I don't know if the airport Chili's have bone-in wings. I think it's just the boneless.
Because bones could be
The TSA has.
sharpened into shivs.
And you can just like fucking hit the
you ever
pilot
see those
right in the
cannibals?
neck.
like, what do you think they use to kill you before they eat your ass?
Man, I'll tell you what. I was about to say something that probably would have been offensive.
Why
so
don't they
we'll
make the
just move
bones
it
out
on.
of the black box? All right. For some terminology, says Emric, nugs are meat, fat, etc., ground into a paste, squeezed into a mold, and breaded. Strips are just chicken breast cut into strips. Tenders are basically the same thing. I'll be the first to recognize that boneless wings are not actual wings. What I am saying is that every time I've ordered boneless wings, I've been served strips or half strips, not nuggets. If I ordered, can I get a chicken strip basket cut in half with the strips tossed in buffalo sauce, served with a side of ranch, I'd probably be charged double because of a stupidly confusing and obfuscated order. So we use the shorthand, boneless wings. In closing, next time you needlessly attack delicious chicken, this is getting violent, fried and tossed,
Get at it.
please use the proper terminology of tenders or strips, not nuggets. Thank you and good night.
Oh man, but you can't you can't single syllable tenders. You're like, hey man, give me them tens. You're like, yeah, nobody
Tendies.
does that.
Tendies. People hit tendies.
That's 2 syllables.
Does it?
tendies. I guess so, yeah.
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 Say tenders, nugs. Like you can't make a song, tendies,
Tendies.
tendies,
Tendies
gotta
gotta
get
tendies.
All right. Well, there we go. We'll try that. Let's see. We've got here's another one. We got this one from Jason. Jason writes, "Hey guys, I am still amazed that you are giving away happy hour as free content. I was listening to Friday's episode. I guess it's most recent Fridays, and while I didn't get to hear Jerry talk about eating people in Alex Jones' voice, well, you're welcome, Jason.
Yeah.
The subject of Paul's Boutique came up. I was relieved to hear you guys talk about it with the respect such an undertaking deserves, as this is easily a top 10 album of all time for me and helped define my college experience. This leads into my 2-part question. Can you ever listen to the Beastie Boys for a while without your hands eventually starting to move with the rhymes? I find that I can't. But we'll take that first part in. When you listen, do you get the
Yeah.
and intergalactic and I'm a master at the Beastie Boys.
That's pretty good. No, Bryce, can you just do that again to the camera because they would always have the fisheye. Yeah.
Intergalactic. We're in space now, and the space is where we're at.
What's funny is I don't think, while it does seem like a very Beastie Boys move, I don't think they did it as much as we remember them doing it, because when they're on stage rapping, they would always have handheld mics. I guess, I don't know, there would usually be like one.
No. I think the biggest thing was that they were among the pioneers of the fisheye lens and rap videos in the 90s.
Yeah, and the hands coming up to it. They did the reverse. Like in a world where everybody is singing to a slowed song, they did the reverse where they were like rapping at double speed and then slowed it down so that it had the crazy slow motion and stuff on there.
But the Beastie Boys are such foundational music for me that I kind of feel like I have felt every emotion while listening to the Beastie Boys. That being said, I have an embarrassing Beastie Boys admission to make that I will make publicly for the first time right here in front of somebody that I know will judge me for it, Brian Brushwood.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I might have the same confession. We'll see.
Uh-oh.
Until I watched that Apple documentary, I assumed that Paul's Boutique was like, if not the album before Hello Nasty, it was like maybe an album before it. But I thought that there was huge separation. It was news to me as a massive Beastie Boys fan who got into them after their initial heyday, that because Paul's Boutique to me sonically sounded so much more like Hello Nasty than really anything that they had done in the in-between. I was totally fucking unaware that it came right after License to Ill.
That's interesting. I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, especially because Hello Nasty was lauded for being a throwback to kind of a Paul's Boutique style. Like I remember one of the first reviews I said, or that I read about Hello Nasty, because I was super stoked about it coming out, ended with the phrase, "It's good to have you back," and specifically calling out the fact that 1992's Check Your Head and Ill Communication were such a departure from classic Beastie Boys, and Hello Nasty was sort of a cautious return to form of what we remembered from junior high.
Well, that, I guess I had always just assumed that License to Ill and Ill Communication were like
we're
sequel
brethren.
albums.
No, that's interesting.
And that was like, oh, okay, they went through their ill. They really loved the phrase ill for a little bit, and then they got away from it. But Paul's Boutique, even as I was listening to all those albums, you know, as a youth, that was always the standout for me. Like that was always the one that I went back to and re-listened. And so I was like, as Hello Nasty was the first contemporary Beastie Boys album that I fell in love with, I was like, well, obviously this is the shit they're into now. And I did not until as a fucking old ass fucking late 30s man watching a documentary about one of my favorite bands of all time that I realized that they made that shit right after Fight for Your Right to Party, which is insane.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I don't blame you. Hey, here's a confession. I don't think I've listened to the Five Boroughs more than once. I don't think I ever even gave it a second listen.
Brother, that's fine.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm forgiven.
We don't need it. In fact, I feel uncomfortable even having this conversation going forward. The Beastie Boys are an amazing band, and let's move on.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I love is all their albums with the really tight rhymes and the very precise and
very right is what I'm saying, and I don't want to talk any more than that.
Okay.
So the second part from Jason is, can you think of another band that had a follow-up album that bombed, but then had the success that they did afterwards? But the album that bombed is widely considered their best work. I can't think of another band that this could apply to.
Weezer, Blue Album, Pinkerton.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because their first, to be honest, that wouldn't surprise me, because oftentimes, you know, they talk about the sophomore slump, and there's an inordinate, unfair amount of being put under a microscope that used to happen. Nowadays, who cares? It's a singles world, right? But but it used to be like, oh my God, you know what? Actually, I'll say Stone Temple Pilots. Although it did well. Purple was the name of the album, I believe. God, no, actually, that did really well.
Yeah.
But not. I don't know at the time, because I guess what you had, Interstate Love Song was a massive success. So never mind.
Yeah.
Shoot. But anyway, sophomore albums get a lot of heat put on them, and it's unfairly so.
It's understandable why sophomore albums can kind of tend to be not as good, because you spend 10 years doing your first album.
That's right, getting your most polished shit, and then all of a sudden
and then
you
2
get
years
thrown
later,
into a studio. Yeah.
Well, and like, you know, with Weezer, Pinkerton, which is now considered a classic, at the time, I can understand where people listen to that and they're like, yo, this shit is fucking weird. And you're like lusting over underage Japanese girls, and it's fucked up. Like, get this shit out of here. Where's Buddy Holly Part 2? But yeah, it's fucking classic, and that almost broke up that band. And similarly to the Beastie Boys, they took time off in between, like, the sting of that.
Mm-mm. There we go. We got one last email here from Sign. Sign wrote in. Sign's email subject line was how brain. How brain saved my life.
What?
Sign, right? So, Brian, you saved my life. No, really. I think I touched on this here, but it was a quick version. A long time ago, I was in a dark place, and I was practically homeless, sleeping on a coworker's couch. I had hours of nothing, and my now spouse and I retreated from each other. So, one day, some random scam school video came up on my YouTube feed. To be honest, I can't even remember what the first one I saw was. Maybe something with Danny Garcia. I just remembered it was in your blonde Sonic the Hedgehog phase.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw some minor miracle and immediately had a flashback to 6-year-old me on a cruise ship watching a magician do packet tricks to a group of kids bored out of their mind while their parents gambled and drank cheap booze. Well, the whole group was bored except for me. I, at that point at the time, decided I'm going to do that. I'm going to make things happen that you can't explain. I was going to learn magic. I then promptly bought a bunch of shitty gimmicks and plastic gizmos and that just so happened to have on hand for a keen-eyed youngster. Oh, the magician had on hand for a keen-eyed youngster with the gift. But then I grew up, I got a job and a car and another job, and all that stuff went into a drawer, and I forgot the feeling of making people smile and having a good time. The feeling of accomplishment when you work on something for hours to perform it perfectly the first time was great, and just like that, a short tip on how to show off at the bar and on the street gave me the drive to find something more in my world and in my heart, and that was just the start. Then I found Diamond Club, a group of the most amazing, generous, kind people I've ever met in my life. People that when my disabled spouse had a very scary health emergency and I was hurting for money helped me out without batting an eye. People there accept me no matter what. You have built a community, a family, something that I never knew I needed. So now I've been tasked by my now healthier spouse that has just started doing Twitch stream, which I think we mentioned on Diamond Time last time. Yep. Polymathema, to find out how to take streaming to the next level. What were your goals and motives way back in the BB Live show days, and how did you identify what your early community fell in love with and avoid entertainment duds? How does one Twitch? I love you. You're in my blood, and I mean it. You are my actual real-life dad and all. Sign.
That is very, very kind, Sign. I really appreciate that. I think we've talked about this a bit before about, kind of, in Justin, we talked about how kind of my core philosophy has always been, and I've always said you have to be bad before you're good. So, just rack up them hours of being bad. But I know that was my stated goal of BB Live Show. And it took a few years of us doing our show before I had to, learn to shake off talking about being bad, because it turns out that we were getting quite good. Do you feel the same way? Like, I'd be more curious to hear what your core philosophy was when it came to the early days.
To be totally honest, BB Live Show was the first time that I had any opportunity to really be funny again. At that point, I had done a lot of stuff, and I had done the TV show pilots with Andrew, and I had obviously done the podcast stuff, but like I hadn't really had an opportunity to show up every week and try to make people laugh since I was doing it as a sketch comedian in New York until BB Live Show. So my initial thing, and this is where it's like, I don't know if this is necessarily analogous to somebody who wanted to stream now, but my initial thing was that like, oh, okay, here's the goal. Show up every Tuesday and make Brian laugh. Like that's the goal. And that became the friendship. And Brian brought an element of like the stuff that I learned. Like initially that was what got me in, was like, okay, just fucking make Brian laugh, make the chat laugh.
It was just an opportunity to do push-ups. How long had it been since you had no longer been in the sketch comedy group? Like, what was the gap between that breakup and trying out BB Live Show?
Had to be like 4 years.
Wow,
something
man.
like that. 3 or 4
you're
years.
You're coming up on your third lap since then. It's funny how, because it's it takes a while after your high school relationship breaks up before you actually, I don't know, like it was astonishing how long the ghost of a past relationship lasts into the next relationship. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, totally. But yeah, no, I think that was the initial. The initial thing was just like, all right, here's a place where I can make people laugh, and it's small stakes enough that there was this like amazement. And what the magic part of it was that, Brian, you felt we were both like, holy shit, people are watching. And so it was like finding gold with someone you just met or barely knew, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, for us, there's like that 50, 60 people that would show up every week. We were like, what the fuck? This is the craziest shit that's ever happened.
Well, and I think specifically you and I were so enchanted by it because we knew what 50 or 60 people looked like in real life. For me, you know, I think about like street performing. That was an excellent set that I would make, you know, a decent pocket change on. And then for you, it's like you had performed before 50 and 60 people, and you knew that was a packed house at a comedy venue. So yeah, I think that was the electricity that just kept drawing us back.
Yeah, and that was that was it. The initial thing was just like the fact that we had a group of people and it was just making dumb fucking jokes. And then the thing that did change everything was the Big Dig game night. That was where we first fell through the floorboards and found that there was actual fucking treasure in whatever house we'd stumbled into. And we're like, oh, wait, you could actually just tip over elements of the internet if 50 people try at the same time. Like, this shit is insane.
Yeah, dude. Man, God, remember how pissed some of the Dig crew were when they found out that Jay Adelson was being a part of it?
Oh my God. Yeah.
The purists.
No, that was for those. Yeah. Quick postage stamp version of it. But yeah, we got something to the top of Dig.
Also,
which was a
postage stamp
website.
on the postage stamp. Dig was a website that used to
Dig
be
was
the
a
Reddit.
website that
Dig
was
was a
like
Reddit.
right?
It was a Reddit. Yeah.
But yeah, in certain circles, it was fucking really influential, and we got something to the top. And part of the reason that we did was that the CEO of the company thought it was really funny that we were doing what we were doing, and overrode his mods and engineers, who obviously saw this as us
and then some of the
brigading.
purists were like, "The fuck is this?" and then Jay Adelson with his verified, or I guess they didn't have verification. He was just like, "I approve of this," and they were like, "There's no way that's the CEO. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck all this.
Fuck you." But yeah, as soon as we realized that it's like, oh wait, like people can just, you know, the biggest problem is that hoes be mad. Like we can use these algorithms to their fucking like to our own advantage. We were like, holy shit, this is fucking on.
God, I don't even remember what we promoted. What Death Star we blew up that day?
No, it was the fucking video of the bear local news
Oh, that's
video.
great! God, that was a good one. Where they
Yeah.
did the recreation. We can rewatch that in the after show. Speaking of which, maybe we should wrap things up.
Thank you to all of our emailers. If you got something you want us to read here at the end of the show, which is what this was, send it into mail, mail@nightattack.tv, and we might read it in the portion of the show where we read emails.
Oh, Justin, what did we learn today?
Brian, we learned that there's a Corona caravan and it's coming to a town near you.
Man, we learned that Amy Grant had some saucy, weird
Oh my good
directions.
God. We learned that man, that dude's got a big kick. Oh Jesus.
And we learned that the Bit Boss is...
The Bit Boss.
All right, Bit Boss with 3,000 bits is Rock Roll Martian. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rock Roll Martian. Enjoy the hat that you built on, I've already forgotten whose head it was. We love you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Also, hope you're enjoying Happy Hour.
Yes, it's Merrill Bar. Anyway, die to fire!
Fuck boneless wings.
Oh, Justin, rather young. Every time you go, I get so sad that I wanna drink a warm glass of Drano. Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.